Okay, let's start with configuration now. Let's jump onto the VPC, create VPC. We'll give it some name like microservices. Okay, you can select the IPv4 CIDR as 10.0.0/16. 16 should be fine. Okay, and just click on create VPC. Okay, now you can see the VPC has been created here. And now let's jump into the internet gateway creation. So create an internet gateway, give it some name, microservice into IG, internet gateway, and create an internet gateway. Once the internet gateway is created, you have to attach to the VPC. So we attach it. So now the internet gateway is attached. Now you'll create subnet. So as I told you, right, we can create a public subnet and private subnet. For now, we'll create one public subnet. You can name it as public subnet 01. You can prefer any easy. For now, we'll keep it as simple, like choose US East 1A. So the subnet what we'll give it here is like 10.10.1.0/24. And you can create subnet. So one more subnet you can create. You can create it as a private subnet 01, and you can prefer the same easy. You can give the subnet as 2.0/24. You can give it, and you can hit on create subnet. So those two subnets should be created now. Okay, now let's jump into creation of route tables. Just create route table. You can give it some name like public RT. You can select the VPC here, and you can create route table. The same thing you can create like a private route table. Select the VPC, create. So the route tables are now been created. Now what we are going to do is we are going to check the associations, like we have to associate the subnets to the route table. So let's associate it now. Go to subnet association, edit, and select the public for public route table, private subnet for private route table. Yeah, now the subnets have been associated. Yeah. Now you can go and create a NAT gateway. So NAT gateway creation takes some time. So let's give it some name. As I've told you, right, NAT gateway is responsible for the private subnets to pull the necessary configuration information from the internet. So no internet user can access the private subnet, but the servers placed in the private subnet can access the internet through this NAT gateway and pull the necessary information. So let's give some time. It will take some time to create the NAT gateway. So meanwhile, we can create the route, edit the routes for the route table. So public route table will give the default route, the internet route to be taken from the internet gateway. Yeah, choose the internet gateway and click on save changes. And for the private route table, you can select the NAT gateway. But because NAT gateway is still under creation, we'll hook it up later. So these are the subnets. So now we can check the NAT gateway is already created. Now let's associate this private route to the NAT gateway. So just check the routes, edit route, and just add the internet route here, and you select the NAT gateway which has been created. So now the private subnets will get internet through this NAT gateway. Now let's jump into creation of the security groups. We'll create, as I've told you in the introduction, right? We'll be creating 5 security groups for each of the ALBs and the microservices as well as the bastion host. So first let's jump and create security group. First for we'll be creating for the private public ALBs. So you can name it as public ALB security group. Select some description like allow access from the internet to ALB. Select the VPC. Okay, and you can add the inbound rule. Okay, now let's create another security group. This one will be for the uh, the front end security group, which is nothing but for the servers. Just say that allow access to from ELB to the servers, the front end server. You can select the VPC here. So you can allow HTTP traffic from the public facing ELB. So allow only HTTP traffic. You can select the security group as that one we earlier created, right? You can select that one and you can click on save. You can select the VPC and you can select what are the security groups we have created till now. So for public ALP, we missed out something adding inbound role. So we will add the inbound role. Saying from internet, you have to access the ELP, right? Public facing. So we'll give HTTP access from anywhere, and also you can give HTTPS access from anywhere. So we'll be creating one more security group. We'll create security group here. This is for the private ALB. So you can name it as a private ALB SG. So you can give some description like allow traffic from. Yeah, you can give some description like allow traffic from ALB. That is from nothing but the public ALB to the private ALB, or like internal ALB to private ALB. You can select the VPC here, and you can add some inbound rule. Inbound rule only from HTTP traffic should be allowed. So you can select the ALB here. You can create a subnet. Create a group. Now you can create another security group. This one is for micro users. You can name it as micro SG. You can select. You can give some description like allow from internal ALB to micro services. You can select the VPC. You can add a TCP role saying that because you can add HTTP from the load balancer what security group we have created, and you can also add port 5050 here. For now we will create it. Later on we can add that one. So one more important thing what we have to do is like create a bastion host security group. So some description you can give along from internet to bastion. You can select the VPC. You can add SSH port 22 here from because from laptop we need to connect to the bastion host, right? From anywhere you can add, or you can add your own IP, and you can create the security group. Now so far the security groups are created here. You can select the VPC and you can list them out. So we'll just check the front-end security group because it has to get access from the SSH port of the base session. So you can give the base session port here. So now you can select the for all the servers, right? We need to open the 22 port so that we can access. So from the micro SG security group also. So internal servers will be using this one. So we have to allow the SSH port 22 from the base session host because we have to connect to the private instances also. So these are the security groups what we are connected as and now. Whenever we require, right, we'll be keeping the ports open or close, and later on we can figure it out like what are the ports that are necessary after configuration. We can close them out.